7 o'clock. I call to order the Township regular board meeting of February 17th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Sharon, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Board, as before, we have some housekeeping items. When speaking, please move close to your microphone to ensure you are heard clearly for the YouTube streaming. And I request that citizens who speak to adjust the height and stand close to their microphone. There will be two opportunities for citizen comments. I will be requesting individuals stay within the 4 minutes in both citizen comment sections. Would appreciate everyone keeping their points concise. We will be following the township's policy 2.5E3 and 2.6C related to citizen comments. Individuals are not allowed to speak on a subject matter more than once. During the first citizen comment section, comments should be related to the items on the agenda only. The second citizen comment section shall relate to any other matters unrelated to the agenda items. Citizens' comments should pertain to specific issues, concerns, or policies they would like to bring to the board's attention. In addition, during board discussion or deliberation, citizens are not to interrupt the procedures of the board. The chair may call upon the citizen during either of these sections. I would request that comments are made respectfully to the board. We are here to discuss the township's business. For the record, Policy 2.0 has specific guidelines for citizens addressing the board and its individual members. No name calling or personal attacks, no shouting, abusive, threatening, or disparaging language will be accepted. Engaging in this type of conversation will require the supervisor to request the individual to return to their seat. To respect everyone's time, I strongly urge the board not to respond to public comments, but address them in the board comments section. Sometimes this is difficult, but this is not a debating stage between township residents and board members. We have township business to conduct, and it is required that we do so effectively. If there needs to be a follow-up from the board, I will direct the appropriate person to reach out to that individual. The documents on the website are aligned to the items on the agenda. These are drafts to provide background information only. Just to be clear, motions were drafted to help the board more quickly get to the final wording on the respective motions. The final motion may look different to reflect the actual action taken by the board. Board, we have 2 sets of minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes to the regular board meeting of January 20th, 2026? Sharon?
I have one or two. In A4, we had removed the new business item number 9, but on the next page, it reflects number 9, showing that we approval of the Antrim County Road Work Proposal, which we did not discuss. So we should remove that.
Yep.
And then going down to informational purposes only, I don't know how exactly that should read, but it's got, shows the trail discussion on Thursday, January 29th at 6 p.m. The township did not host that. We just offered our building. So I think that somehow should say the trail hosted and presentation. Put the discussion, take the discussion out of there. Hosted and the presentation on that day. I was trying to figure out, keep it simple, but I don't want the minutes to reflect that the township had put this meeting on.
So you want it just to say Naquima hosting and presenting?
With a presentation on.
Hosting a presentation on Thursday.
Okay,
All right.
got it.
The discussion wasn't part of the board or anything like that, so
Right.
just a little bit of a clarification there.
All right, and what was the point on number 9?
Remove it.
We didn't discuss it and I didn't take it out.
Oh, all right. All right, any other comments? All right, hearing none, I will make the motion to approve the January 20th, 2026 regular board meeting minutes with changes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. It is moved and seconded to approve the regular board meeting minutes of January 20th, 2026 with changes. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Second meeting was a special board meeting of January 20th, 2026 to discuss a budget working session. Any comments or concerns on that?
I have none.
Hearing none, I will make the motion to approve the January 20th, 2026 special board meeting budget working session minutes as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, board. All right, Mary, correspondence.
Correspondence. Okay, I got some letters from some people, which I will read. From Herb and Kristen Roth. Hi, board members. Kristen and I just want to apologize for not being able to attend this meeting in person and to reiterate our support for the Naquima Trail. We encourage the township to prioritize it and put it on the fast track. From what we have heard of the results of the master plan questionnaire and the open house that was hosted last September for community input, there was overwhelming support for a non-trail through Torch Lake Township. Whether it is on the east or west side, there will always be concessions that will need to be made. In their recent presentation from January 29th, the Naquima Tart Trail team gave a detailed analysis looking at both the east and west side of the road options. Again, there will be pros and cons to either side of the road, and either way, there will always be a few individuals who will find issues with the trail. Their input needs to be heard and taken into consideration, but please support the overwhelming majority in our community that want to see the Naquima Trail developed. We believe that people with reservations about the trail will come to realize what a great asset the Naquima Trail will be to our township and the whole east side of our beautiful Grand Traverse Bay. With that, I want to say that we did get some correspondence from Elizabeth Calcutt, who's manager for Tart Trails. And it's just kind of an overview of the meeting or the discussion and presentation that they put on January 29th. So if anybody's interested in kind of reading about it, there are some copies on the back table there. It's too long for me to read. The next one we have is from Wendy Crone. Dear Supervisor Cook and members of the Torch Lake Township Board, I understand there will be a township meeting tonight, and although I don't know if it is on the agenda, I am writing to support for the proposed Naquima Bike Trail connecting Torch Lake Township to Elk Rapids and Charlevoix. This trail would significantly improve safety for cyclists, pedestrians, and families. Currently, many residents and visitors must use narrow road shoulders along fast-moving traffic, creating hazardous conditions, which I can verify from personal experience. A dedicated trail would reduce the risk of accidents and provide a safe, accessible route for people of all ages. Beyond safety, the trail would enhance quality of life, promote healthy recreation, and strengthen connections between our communities. It would also encourage tourism and local economic activity while preserving the natural characteristic that makes Torch Lake Township special. I recognize that cost is an important factor in any township decision. However, projects like this often secure substantial grant funding and can be developed in phases to minimize financial impact. With careful planning and outside funding support, this trail can be a fiscally responsible investment in our community's safety and future. I respectfully urge the township to support this important project. Thank you for your time and thoughtful consideration. Couple more from Bonnie Miller. Dear members of the Torch Lake Township Council, I am writing to express my strong support for the proposed Nequima Bike Trail that would run through our community and connect neighboring towns through a safe and accessible trail system. This project represents an important investment in both infrastructure and quality of life. A dedicated bike trail would provide residents of all ages with a safe space for walking, biking, and outdoor recreation. Just as importantly, it would link our township with surrounding communities, reducing the sense of isolation many residents currently feel and fostering a greater sense of regional connection. From an economic standpoint, connected trail systems have proven to attract visitors who support local businesses, restaurants, and shops. Increased foot and bicycle traffic would bring new opportunities for small businesses in our area while showcasing the unique character of our township. Beyond the economic benefits, the trail would promote healthy lifestyles, encourage environmentally friendly transportation, and create a welcoming space for families and visitors alike. I respectfully urge the council to support the development of this bike trail and take the necessary steps to move the project forward. This is a meaningful opportunity to strengthen our community both socially and economically. Greg Miller. I am writing to strongly encourage the town council to move forward with implementation of the proposed bike path now that the study has been completed. With the groundwork already laid, this is an important opportunity to invest in a project that will deliver lasting economic benefits to our community. Well-designed bike paths are proven to increase nearby residential property values. Today's home buyers consistently prioritize safe, walkable, and bike-friendly neighborhoods. A dedicated bike path would enhance the appeal of surrounding properties, attract new residents, and strengthen our local tax base over time. This type of infrastructure is not only a recreational amenity, it is a strategic investment in community desirability and long-term value. In addition, bike paths play a meaningful role in stimulating local business development. Cyclists are more likely to make frequent stops at restaurants, cafes, retail stores, and service establishments along their route. Communities across the country have seen measurable increases in customer traffic and sales after adding cycling infrastructure. By moving forward with this project, our town can encourage small business growth, attract visitors, neighboring communities, and enhance the vibrancy of our commercial areas. Beyond the economic benefits, the bike path will promote public health, improve safety for cyclists, reduce traffic congestion, and contribute to overall quality of life, goals that reflect throughout forward-looking community planning. With the study completed, I respectfully urge the council to take the necessary steps to advance the project towards construction. This is an opportunity to make a lasting investment in our town's prosperity and livability. Thank you for your time and consideration. That was it for people in our township. We did get some correspondence from outside the township as well, also in support of the trail from somebody in Banks Township. And then the only other thing that I have to mention was I got from Oriana LaFew in Helena Township. We'll be hosting the MSU Extension Citizen Planner Program. There is a flyer here that I'm going to put up on the bulletin board. There's another piece somewhere. And the deadline for that is April 3rd of 2026. So if anybody's interested in that, you can come and see me and I will give you more information on that.
Great.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. I will have a response to those items during board comment. Next item is the approval of the agenda. We have two changes to the agenda. First, I need to add in item 5, which is the hiring of a new probational firefighter. The second item, due to Andy's absence, we will need to pull item number 2, lawn care contract. We will not have a quorum as Jason and Mary would have a conflict and need to be excused, leaving only 2 board members. I make the motion that the agenda be accepted as presented with changes. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It is moved and seconded that the agenda is accepted as presented with changes. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Board. We'll now move to citizen comment. Do we have any comments related to items on the agenda?
No.
All right. So we will take all of those citizen comments at the second comment section. We will now move to the consent agenda. Anyone wish to pull any of the reports?
I'd like to pull the ambulance report.
The ambulance, all right. All right, any other reports? If not, then I will move that all the other reports are accepted by consent, and we will then vote on the ambulance report separately. Go ahead, Sharon.
There are many folks here in the audience here may or may not be aware, but our new ambulance was delivered. And it is in the report here. Our new ambulance was delivered, passed inspection, and it says in service. It's almost in service, almost. I wanted to say it passed inspection and insured. It's insured, and it's almost in service. Just one minor detail. I was too. I was reading that. I'm thinking, well, that's a little tweak.
What was the issue?
Radio or not, the cameras. The cameras are not quite up to snuff yet, right? Is that correct?
All right.
Other than that, I just wanted to say that the staff did a great job of getting that put together. And that's all I had to say on that report.
All right. Anybody else have comments on the report? If not, I make the motion to accept the ambulance report as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to accept the ambulance report as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. All right, we have reports. For the Planning Commission. Andy is not here. I'll give a quick comment. There was a presentation regarding improvements at the recent Planning Commission meeting. They are interested in turning this into a 2 to 3 unit hotel and a number of what he called live work rental buildings and refurbishing the restaurant. Planning Commission requested additional information, and Sarah will be working with the individual to obtain that. There was also a review of the status regarding the master plan. There's still work to be done, so that project is continuing. Mary, any new or old FOIA requests?
No, not currently.
All right. I'll do our financial review. Sharon continues to keep up with the tax payments. The general fund was $4,000 unfavorable to budget as revenues were slightly higher by $28,000, but expenses were also higher by $32,000. Expenses reflected 8 of our cost centers that were under budget for $51,000 and 10 cost centers which were over budget by $83,000. Details can be found online in the special report financial section. Line item details file. As mentioned in my previous reports, the fire fund was still negative due to the unbudgeted down payment for the new fire pumper truck and some capital improvement work done at our 2 fire stations. Tax collections also came in under budget. The ambulance fund was unfavorable due to revenue below the budget by $79,000. Related to lower tax collections and lower run fees. Expenses were higher as the final payment on our second ambulance occurred in January. Excluding that payment, all other expenses in the ambulance would have been under budget by $28,000. If anyone has any questions, feel free to call me or the clerk's office. I'm happy to go through the other details. All right, moving on. We have no old business and we have 4 items for new. First item, board, is the contract for Mike Bertram as our ambulance director. Mike continues to do a great job for us, managing the ambulance operations as well as his relationship with Med Control. Now, I have taken the liberty to propose an increase from our original draft budget of $22,000 and propose a $24,000 number, which is $2,000 per month. Quite honestly, we are quite lucky to have Michael as he combines dedication with real knowledge of running an ambulance operation. To be also honest, the last time we searched for an ambulance director, it took months to find, and the salary for the individuals were significantly higher than $24,000. So board, I ask for your thoughts on this proposal.
Would you like me to start?
Absolutely.
Okay. With all due respect, with Mike, I did have a long conversation with him several times. And he did not even request a raise last year, nor did he request a raise this year. He was given a raise last year, which was more than the average of the rest of the employees. And this year, his raise would be constituting 13% increase over all the rest of our employees. I did talk to Mike. He's probably the one and only employee that we have that didn't request any raise. So my proposal, and I think we should put that back to 22 or 22.5, just shy of 6%, would be my proposal with this contract. That keeps in line with the fire chief and all the other things he does. And I think Mike will not have hurt feelings with that, hopefully. We did have a discussion on that. So that is my proposal.
All right. Other comments from the board?
I'm okay with it.
At 24.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good.
It's
Just
just,
board members square.
I mean, I don't love the 13%. So I guess I'm kind of more in line with Sharon on this one.
All right. Well, we're at 2.2, and I'll stick with 22.5. Since he's comfortable with that, I took the independent action. I'm comfortable at 22.5. So
That would
Sharon,
make
you
it-
want to make a motion?
That would make $18.75 per month then, instead of 2.
Well, it's not part of the motion.
But it is in the agreement,
All right. What is that, 1875?
right? Because agreement does state, number 1, agreement to be
All
paid.
right. So we'll redraft that,
Okay.
Michael.
Fine with me.
Yep, all right.
I'm happy with that. Thank you.
So the motion to approve, I'll make the motion to approve the contract with Mike Bertram, ambulance director, with an annual compensation of $22,500, $18.75 per month. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion on the motion? It's moved and seconded. Hearing none, Mary, a roll call vote, please.
Jason,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes?
Sharon,
Yes.
Mary. Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, yes.
All right. Item number 2 was withdrawn. Item number 3 is review of the cleaning contract for the day park, and that now includes the nature preserve. The feedback I got was that Ms. Reese did an excellent job last year and worked well with our team at the day park. We are expanding the role to include daily service at the nature preserve, as I agreed with the Nature Preserve Committee to bring in garbage and cigarette butt receptacles. Ms. Reese will empty garbage and cigarette containers on the days she works at the day park as part of this contract. Any
So are the
discussion?
cigarette containers at the nature preserve then?
Yeah.
That's what that new thing you just
That's
ordered
what
then?
the new
Okay,
stuff
I didn't know what it was.
Yep. Yep.
There's 2 and 3 trash cans, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I knew the trash cans came. I didn't understand the,
Well, we had an individual concerned with the cigarette butts in the parking lot. So we're going to put a cigarette
no smoking.
butt container in the parking lot.
Quit smoking.
It's not like. it's
Bad
not
for
like
your
it's
health.
a lot of money, so. Any other questions about that?
No, I was just wondering about that because I didn't realize that.
I will say that last year I had some comments from citizens that said they were going to monitor the work done by Ms. Reese and would communicate with me when that work did not meet the expectations that they had, and I got no complaints. So I'm happy with that work, and with that, I will make the motion to approve the contract for above and beyond cleaning as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion has been moved and seconded. Any further questions? If not, Mary, a roll call vote, please.
Sharon,
Yes.
Mary, yes. Jason,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes. All right, item number 4, we have a resolution. I believe the numbering is correct, 2026-5. I think we did through -4 at last month's meeting. Regarding a new short-term rental definition, which is going to be added. Sarah's here to walk us through that.
Good, because I was reading it all. I was like, oof.
Yeah. So as I mentioned in my memo, the previous zoning ordinance did have a definition for short-term rentals, and it essentially said a short-term rental is a rental anything less than 30 days. In the updated zoning ordinance, that definition was left out by accident, and as it came to our attention, we decided to come back to this item and add the definition in. The Planning Commission talked about it. Policy is still the same, even though the words are a little bit different. So it's still 30 days. And we added some language about the subletting because we found that, I don't know about in Torch that it's been an issue, but in other communities, one group or barn is renting a home for 2 months and then they lease it out to a different family each week. And so this is intended to try to curb that activity and say that that is a short-term rental if you are not staying in it for 30 days or you're changing it over. So policy is the same. They're only allowed in the village with the special use permit. That's not changing. The use itself isn't changing in any way. It's just documenting the correct definition in the ordinance. So, and I would, in your, you have a resolution, but it should be ordinance number.
Ordinance number?
Yeah, so adopt ordinance, whatever the correct number is for it.
Yeah, that's correct.
That would be ordinance number. Should be in your packet, right?
Well, I have a blank for the number. We could go back and fill in whatever that number. I don't know if you've adopted any ordinances.
we have, but I don't
this year.
remember how, what.
Well, we'll pass it ordinance number pending. And we'll review it when we come back next month. Can you do
We
that?
can, or we can
Yeah.
just say in the motion, the next ordinance number will
Yeah.
be applied
That's fine.
after verification or something like that. Then we won't have to be holding anything up.
Right.
All right, so let me add that language. Next.
So what we have in front of us here would be what's inserted into our,
Yeah, so this is the whole ordinance that you're adopting, but the main part, the language that you're adding is under section 1, that second paragraph that starts with short-term rental.
okay,
That'll be inserted in the S section of the definitions.
okay, and that's the only spot there?
Yeah, and then the rest of it is all just your legal requirements for adopting an ordinance.
Okay.
So that, to make sure we're official, simple solution, motion to approve the next number ordinance regarding short-term definitions as presented, is that sufficient?
That's sufficient.
All right, thank you. I see that you
Does-
got all the proper approvals through the county.
Correct, yeah. The planning commission held a public hearing, made a recommendation to approve it. It went to county planning commission. They provided their comments in here, finding that it's, there's no inconsistency between the county master plan and the proposed amendment.
All right,
And then this has got to go in to the newspaper for 30 days?
Well, nope, so I will, if you pass it tonight, I will get it in the paper for next week publication, and then it'll be effective the following Thursday.
Okay.
So whatever,
you'll work with Mary on that.
yeah.
Okay. All right, board, any other discussion?
Nope.
Not that I'll make a motion to approve with the next ordinance number regarding short-term definitions as presented. Do I have a second?
No, second.
Thank you. Motion has been moved and seconded to approve the next ordinance number regarding short-term definition as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mary, roll call vote, please.
Mary, yes. Bob,
Yes?
Jason,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
All right, last item is Kevin here? Kevin, you want to give us a brief intro to Ben?
Yeah, last Tuesday, I had an email from Ben Horath. He expressed interest in joining the fire department. I met with him briefly Wednesday evening before training. The conversation went really well. He is a full-time resident here in the township. He lives south of Station 2. He has availability to be answering calls during the daytime hours. Other than that, he is married. He has 2 young children. And he had an application handed to him. And Friday morning at Station 2, there he was, turned in the application to me. And I kind of got it late to Supervisor Cook, but I was kind of excited that this makes the 4th individual here that has stepped up and wanted to be a member of the department. So my recommendation to the board, I'm asking you to please hire him as a probationary firefighter for the Torch Lake Fire Department.
Great. You keep them coming. We'll keep
That's
approving.
awesome.
I have some questions.
All right.
Yes.
For the firefighter 1, 2, are there classes going to be coming up anywhere soon or?
Ted and I have been watching the Smoke website very carefully.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find a blended class. And that would be more online, but they would have to there would be some drive time because it's a 280-hour class course.
Could we host anything like that? Bring in area people or?
Well, that's the other thing. I'm still looking for the upgrade to my instructor certification. It's not offered on Smoke yet. So
Okay.
as soon as that's available, back into the classroom I go. And
Okay.
as soon as I can get that, then I'm going to start adapting. We're trying to figure out with Elk Rapids, they do have an instructor 2 down there, if we can get a firefighter 1 and 2 course going there.
Yeah, because that's where a lot of them have been.
That would be a lot closer
Mm-hmm.
for them and more convenient, but I'll update the board on that as the year progresses with any
Thank you.
information I get.
Have you talked to him at all or not yet?
Who's that?
Elk Rapids?
No, I have not talked to him.
All right.
I didn't bring it up during the chiefs meeting, and there's been other things that we've been dealing with, so it's like, this is one of the things, though, that we want to get done, because we got 3 that we can send off right now. So,
All right.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, board. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve the hiring of Ben Horvath as firefighter probationary for Torch Lake Township Fire Department effective February 18th, 2026, at the rate on our schedule of $16.05.
Great, thank you. I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Mary, a roll call vote, please.
Sharon,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Mary, yes.
All right, motion is
And you'll
approved.
get me all the paperwork from him then, right?
And that's kind of a sidebar comment, Kevin. I want to make sure that these guys have their paperwork in before we proceed with purchasing equipment and all of that. Because I think, do you have the first person? So we're still short the person we approved last time. So please get on top of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, board. We went through the budget a couple of times. And at this point, we can go through it again. If there's any questions on items, there were some changes, minor changes. Sharon had some. And I will go to page, let's see, where's that? I will go to page 9 under professional contracts, and we'll make that change to 22,500, if I remember correctly.
What'd you say we're changing it to?
22,500. Yeah.
Oh, we're for the mic. I got you.
So a couple key ones that Sharon caught. On page 1, under licenses and permits, Sharon thinks it should be at 9,000. I've got 10,700. I basically did a run rate off the 8,000. So, for $1,700, I'm not worrying about changing.
That's fine.
Sharon also wanted to change fees for services from 500 to 300. I think 500 is okay. Let's see, and I totally missed the tax account interest income of 15,000. So that's a good guy that came in. Good catch. Yeah. So those are, I think, Sharon's. Is there another one, Sharon? I think,
Just the BSNA problem, BSNA ones,
oh, the rounding on those.
because at the end of the budget year, I like to see them exactly. Then we know that no mistakes been made along the way, and to catch things, it's easier to know we're right on rather than up or down, and why.
Yeah. All right, well, couple of,
Did Mary have any in elections? Because we do have an election in May.
I thought we changed those though before you did this, because I wanted more in there for wages. But I looked at it this morning.
But we didn't know we had a May election. There's going to be a May election.
Yeah, we got, right, small though.
Yeah.
We won't need very
This
many
is the one
people.
day. not one of those 9 days.
Yeah, I don't,
So we've got nothing in there for elections. Do you want to put something in there or
find it.
it's on page 3?
Got nothing in where, for what?
I'm sorry, I'm looking.
Because we
at
have
bill-
15,000 in there for payroll,
Yeah, I'm looking at
Which-
buildings.
I thought would be okay.
All right,
Um,
that's fine.
I think that,
Yeah, because that's
think
just a
that's-
small.
yeah, because we changed office supplies, so I think I'm good.
All right. All right, couple items. If nobody else has anything, Andy said that he was fine with it. I asked him for his input. So one of the key items I noticed was the items that are too small, which I said was under 3,000, I didn't want to spend a lot of time, accounted for roughly 85,000 of the budget. And the total cost for payroll and benefits is roughly 50% of total expenses. So when it comes time for us looking at places to cut, half of it is tied up in benefits and payroll. So I think we've done a good job. We've got a positive ending. Now, people will look at a favorable balance of 486,000. That's on page 10, bottom right-hand number. The reason that's so big is if you go to the road fund, we did not put any expenses in for the road fund. So that whole amount of the tax collection falls to the bottom line, which is over $300,000. So that bottom line number is a little misleading unless you understand that as you go through each of the various funds, we've got one fund that doesn't have really any expenses. So board, if nobody has any other changes, then I will make minor ones, and that is what we will prepare for the March budget meeting. And I'll put that package together. All right. That takes care of that. Last one is information only in your package.
I have some more when you're ready to.
I'm sorry?
I have a comment when you're ready there.
Well, go ahead.
We were talking about the ADA for the township website, correct?
Great.
Okay. I was in Lansing Friday for my MTA board meeting, and MTA is putting on a great presentation free to the board, public, or anything that wants to learn more about this. The Schumer programmers are going to put it on. So I'm encouraging all the board, as soon as I get the date and the time and everything, and it'll be recorded so you can watch it at any time, but I am encouraging the board to watch that so you get more information as to what's going on. And Michael isn't here. I was going to send the invitation to him and whoever else would need it for that. So as soon as I get that information of the date and time, to watch it live, and then there'll be a pre-recorded one. So it's going to be very good to understand more about it. So
All right. Well, just so the board knows, that our website had to be up to date by April. So I asked Michael Strange to follow up on the work he did with you, Sharon. He gave me an estimate of roughly $4,000, and I told him to go ahead and get it done. We don't have time to waste. So I took that action for the board.
and the details the board can see too, and then it's going to be relatively quick to that program. So I encourage everybody to watch that.
All right. That includes our business for the township. The next item will be citizen comment. I know we have a number of people that are interested in making a comment. I would ask that you respect the 4-minute time, so I'm not having to interrupt individuals. And,
I only have 2 comment cards.
okay,
Does anybody else have a comment card that I've just got Robin and Jairus here. Did anybody else want to turn in a,
this lady over on the right.
so you want me to not have a comment card, just call them as we go along here?
Yep, 2 people.
Well, first I'm going to call Robin because she gave me a comment card, but there should be comment cards back there if you want to fill them out and turn them in. That way I have some on paper trail, is what I'm trying to say.
Hi.
Is the green light on?
Hello.
Yep.
It's on.
Hold it close, thank you.
I'm Robin Granso, 12231 Barnes Park Road. I'm probably not going to tell you anything you haven't heard already, but I just want to reiterate the survey results. First, the Torch Lake Township survey that went out to help with the master plan. One of the questions was, what is the main reason you decided to live or own property in Torch Lake? And 46% of people said natural features and recreation, and 28% of people said quality of life. And everybody else was a much smaller amounts. This is, I'm reading these thinking about the Naquema Trail. Question, what type of recreational facilities would you like to see more of in Torch Lake Township? The first thing is natural areas at 55%, and then at 50%, non-motorized trails. And then at 35.7%, sidewalks and paved pathways. And then going down to the little, I can't think of the word.
Subset?
Yeah, thanks. Underneath
Comment
the
section.
pieces, it says, sidewalks and paved pathways also received strong support, showing a clear demand for improved walkability and connectivity within the community. And there was a notable interest in specific improvements, including pickleball courts, bike trails, better trail connections, such as Naquema and Tart trails. Then there's another question that says, what recreational activities do you and members of your household enjoy? Number 1 is swimming and beach at 92%, and the second one is walking and hiking at 91%. And then just a little bit further down at 66% is biking. So I'm going to hop over to the Antrim County Parks and Rec survey. Oh, by the way, the Torch Lake Township survey had 441 responses, and Antrim County had 638 responses. So one of the questions, how satisfied are you with Antrim County Parks? 47 people said satisfied, and 44 people said very satisfied. What percentage believe Antrim County Parks are valuable assets to our community? 95% of people. I'm not saying the trail would be a park, but you kind of get where I'm going with this. Parks we visit the most, Barnes Park is at the top. How are we using our parks? Number 1 thing is walking and hiking, and the number 3 thing is biking. What recreation do we want to see more of? Number 1, non-motorized trails and connectivity. Trail support is 88%, support the development and extension of hiking and non-motorized trails. Under desired improvements, the number 1 thing was restrooms, and number 2 thing is trails. And for the locations, 81% of the respondents live within a 10-minute drive of an Antrim County park, and going down to where most of the respondents live, Torch Lake Township is the highest. Slightly behind it was Forest Home. 89% of the respondents believe that Antrim County parks improve the physical and mental health of our community. And I just want to say that I think we need to remember that Torch Lake Township is not an exclusive community. It's a bigger piece of a whole, Antrim County. And then I also happen to have the comments from the Parks and Rec survey for the county. There's over 60 comments on it. So over 60 people who, of the 638 people who took the Antrim County survey, commented something positive about the Naquema Trailway. So I wanted to reiterate that because I think it's really important at this part in time when people are kind of starting to say some negative things. Maybe they don't like the side of the road that it may be developed on. But to kind of keep our eyes focused on like what's important here for the residents. Thank you.
Solomon Townsend.
I don't have a ton of material, like Robin does to.
Speaking of the
oh,
mic,
sorry,
please.
to cite or anything, but I think I 100% support everything that she is saying. And I think that that is definitely the direction that, the generations of the future want to see is more recreation. And I know there may be some people who don't want to invest in that kind of infrastructure or whatever, but there is an awful lot of evidence that supports that it's overwhelmingly a positive thing for the community. And I think currently there's not really a safe place for people to go out, walking, rollerblading, biking, the multi-use applications that you get out of that trail. And I think people may not realize how much they enjoy it until they actually experience it. And I've spent a lot of time in Traverse City, and I've ridden a lot of those tarp trails, and it's an amazing experience to see how many young kids and families and people who come out of their backyards and use those facilities, and it becomes part of their life in a way that I think would be a huge asset in this community. And I think people start to use bikes as a means of transportation when there's enough of these trails linked together. And this is just part of a bigger vision of connecting Traverse City to Petoskey. And I think people are generally aware of that, but I think the cumulative effect of us stepping on board early, and then we can be the example for, the next township. I think there's no reason that we should stand opposed to what people clearly want based on the surveys. This whole idea of recreation and stuff was in the master plan that existed before we did these surveys, however many years ago that was done. I think it was over a decade ago. And that was one of the biggest focuses in that master plan. So I guess I don't see any reason why. There's going to be a few people who don't like the inconvenience of having a trail in their yard or whatever. But I do think that they will get used to it. And I think, we are a representative democracy, and I think the majority want this. Why listen to a few people who, I'm not saying not take their complaints and try to work with them, but don't just amplify the voices of a few people that don't like it.
Great,
My thought.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
And I don't think the microphone picked a lot of his up, so make sure you put that microphone as close to you as possible, whoever's speaking next.
Who's next?
We'll go with Amy Rosewern.
I'll be quick because I think, can you hear me?
Now you can.
Yeah, you got to get close, don't you?
Yep.
I will be quick because I think a lot of people have already really nicely described what the trail could bring to the community. The only thing I would add is just that I think ever since they had the event at Torch Lake Cafe, which was standing room only, it was really well attended and people were excited, and it was a lot of people that live year round in this community, and it was nice to all see each other and people are excited about it. So I get a lot of great communication from y'all's office, and I think it would be a good idea to keep people updated on the status of that. I don't know what the status is of it now, but it will be good to keep people updated in the same way that you do about other issues about that, because I think people are really looking forward to it. That's all I had to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rachel Warnos.
Hello. I want to implore the board tonight to please not ignore the many people who continue to speak up and show up in support of the Nicoima Trail. And I know this is a broken record, but we really want everyone to know that there's a lot of support in our community. There's been a flood of sustained support, and I urge you to hear our excitement and our pleas. I also want to think about our children and our children's children and the legacy that we want to leave. I hope that the board will consider representing all members of our community. And a trail like this is really inclusive for citizens from a variety of social economic statuses, which I think in our area is important to consider both sides of the aisle, so to speak. Also, I feel like a trail like this is not a novel or risky endeavor. We're lucky to have two elite organizations, TART and the Top of Michigan Trails, leading this movement. We're lucky to have them. They're professional. They've shown massive successes in the other projects they've done, and I think we can follow their lead, and we're lucky to have them on board. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jairus, you're up.
Jairus, Rubin County Commissioner. Recently, I've had quite a number of meetings with the Antrim Conservation District, and one of our longer meetings was talking about the recycling program in Antrim County. We have a contract with GFL, Green for Life, and that contract is up for renewal in this next year. And we've had several challenges with our recycling. You may know we had a fire in Central Lake at the place there. They dumped the bin into the truck, and people had put some things in the recycling that don't belong in the recycling, and then it ignited, and so then the truck driver emptied it all out on the drive, and then the fire department came and put out the fire, and it was just a mess, as you can imagine. And we have also had dumping issues and issues with the lids. So anyways, we're navigating a number of challenges, and the other challenge is that the cost of running the program keeps increasing. And so the millage to support it, if we renew the contract, will need to increase as well, which means all of our taxes will go up again, which nobody likes to hear that. So we're working through a number of challenges, and it is kind of neat to know that Green for Life takes all of that stuff. We started this program in 2018, and we had 1,000 tons that first year. And last year we had over 2,000 tons. So in the 8 or so years that we've been doing it, we've more than doubled how much is taken in Antrim County. But they take all the product, you know, a lot of it is cardboard boxes and glass and plastic bottles. And they take it to Traverse City, and they have a big sorting line there, and they give tours. So if anybody is really curious about it, you can go and watch it. He did say that one of their challenges recently has been the glass. So they recycle and break down the glass, and it becomes a sand-like material. And finding a place that can be useful has been a challenge for them recently. So kind of a fascinating program that they've got going, actually. But yeah, I mean, they had one place where they had a truck that they didn't get it emptied in time, so the whole truck burned up, and then that's $500,000. So, and we all pay for that. So, you know, just be cognizant and be a good citizen and put things in the recycling that belong in the recycling, I guess, is my message.
What would start a fire?
They suspect that it was batteries,
Oh,
but nobody knows for sure. Those do not belong in the recycling.
All right, great, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else? I saw Elizabeth run up there for a sticker. Now, the memos covered everything, if you don't mind. All right, if that's it, then board comment. Mary, you can start us off.
I have no comment.
All right. Sharon, you always have a comment.
I want to thank everybody for showing up today. This is awesome. Usually we only have a handful of people, but we always try to support everything that we do in the community. And then we want to keep that recycling going and the trails going. And I think just your appearance and just keep it going here. It's been a busy week for me with end of tax collection season, but after 26 years, I'm kind of used to it. So, so anyway, that's all I have.
All right. Jason,
No, I think you're probably going to cover what I'm thinking, so.
probably. All right. As promised, I've got some comments. And I've heard everybody clearly. It's not like this board hasn't heard you. And I'm going off script real quickly. We've had Elizabeth here a number of times. And I will tell you, hardly anybody has shown up. Right, Elizabeth? Couple times we had people, but I mean, a lot of the updates were kind of given to a fairly a small crowd, if you will. But my comments are as follows. First, the board showed their support back on December 19th, 2023, when the board approved a motion to support the trail on the west side of US 31. And that was at the request of Elizabeth. And to be honest, she kind of pushed me a little bit to get there, but we got there. We then had Elizabeth here numerous times providing updates to the board and the community over the last couple of years. The board has never questioned the bike path's worth or value to the community, nor the potential of having a trailhead at M88 US 31 intersection. There are concerns within how that takes place, but we're not here to stop the trail. To be clear, the board was not included in the analysis that was undertaken to decide which side of the road of the bike path was to follow through in Torch Lake Township. We got it at the same time that it was presented to the community at a meeting to tell the community a decision had been made and did not seek input from our community as to which side of the road the path should come down. Now, all of this is water over the dam. The path is on the east side. Now I have two open items. One is a crossing from the east side to the west side, but that will have to be worked out with MDOT. In the summertime, it's a racetrack on US 31, so where it crosses has to be carefully worked out. Second, as to when work will begin, and I've gotten a lot of questions about this and trying to tell me that the township board has to fast track this. This is not our decision. This decision was made outside of the township board's making a board decision. It doesn't need to make a board decision. The right of way is there for the use of the public, and how it's used is determined by other people than the township board. So please don't keep trying to tell me that the board is somehow not in favor of this, or that we're holding it up, or that we can fast track it, or that we can tell Elizabeth, you have to start it at the south end of Torch Lake or start it at the north end of Torch Lake. It's not our decision. The board's here to do what we're supposed to do and what we're legally able to do, and we have no control over what's going to take place in the right of way. I even got an email from an individual that said at the same time, let's bury all the power lines. I mean, again, how is the board going to do something like that? So I really, if you have questions about that, feel free to call me. I spent 45 minutes with a person Saturday getting ready for the board meeting that wanted to talk about how the township had to fast track the trail. We can't do that. So please, we're happy to help. It's going to be, I think, 28, 29 before it's even going to be in the area. There's a lot of stuff to take place prior to that. So the board's here. We would decide things if we had the right to decide them. We can't decide them. So be patient with Elizabeth and and the trail will get here when it gets here. So with that, board,
I have one comment to add to that, Bob, if you don't mind.
I do mind.
Okay.
I make the motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
I do want to say that it was put on the community connection also, that it went out